Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the ESL studios here in Cologne for what may be the first time ever that an eSports show has come back before the countdown timer has expired. I am over here with Pansy, and it is the third map of this first game of the day. It's a semi-finals. It's LeiSuRe versus FAB Games eSports, and it's proven to be closer than we maybe expected.
Yeah, these two teams have gone head-to-head and shown their strengths individually in each maps that we've seen. It started off being what looked like a little bit of a disappointment for FAB in the first map, at least in my eyes. They seemed to have so many theory-crafted ideas that just didn't really seem to come to much, and LeiSuRe took it away. You saw the individual skill really starting to shine in that one, and it really did take the forefront. However, into map 2, you saw some of those set pieces finally playing off, finally coming into it. We saw some great AWPing, though, from the other side, but it didn't equate to the win. So, it ended up being a 1-1, and here we are on train.
That's it. And to be fair, we're just about to jump into the pistol round. It looks like LeiSuRe going to be starting on the CT side. FAB Games, eSports Games are going to be on the T side.
eSport gamers, it's in the game.
Of eSports.
All right, so we got the molly on Threeman there, and as I'm taking off my jacket, you'll hear me rummaging around. Apologies for that. It looks like a B hit, pretty much. Bomb plant goes in. The player who has the molly will sit slightly up top in the brown halls and basically just molly off when needed. So it's going to be a quick hit off the back of that. The information's been gathered, and they're going to try and take over the site. However, good repositioning comes out, but not for long. David just leaps around and does get the headshot towards Vladdy, and that is the site open. Bomb is going to be planted, and the T-side do indeed keep the upper hand.
And this is perfect from Badger as well. This is FAB just pushing up now as well, taking space away from LeiSuRe, almost catching them as they try and set up to have this retake. Faker now, last man standing. He's all on his own. It was all very quick once it happened, and you're never going to really see more than 2 players allocated to the B site. If they get mowed over that quickly, it's going to be very, very hard to retake it. FAB, very convincing start to this game.
Yeah, just straight up contact play on B. As soon as you get contact, all right, hit it off the back, and it works on B because, as you said, it's very rare to ever see more than 2 players. You may see a stack out in the beginning. If you're a team known for going for those hits on B, then you might see a couple of teams going, all right, well, let's get someone aggressive there. Let's do a little pop flash run up.
The hard part is that connector feeds towards the back of the B site. So if you push up as well, you just take so much potential ground away from that CT-sided team now as well. So it looks like it's going to be a bit of an Ivy push here as well, for the most part. We've got 3 players from FAB testing it. Light will be that guy who has to deal with the annoying pushes from Ivy all the time, and he just gets smashed down. The grenade took him down to 35. The rest is written on the kill feed.
Yeah, ideally, considering the purchase that LeiSuRe went for, they'd want those extended, longer fights so the Deagles could get the tags, or vice versa to the Scout, and each other could finish off to the kills. However, FAB not feeling that. But then hitting the brakes now can maybe open up a chance for a little bit more damage to come through. Jumping Scouts come in, but can't really connect. They do get a couple players low, but the knife almost came out, but the MAC-10 will make a fair bit of money, maybe not as much as a knife, but it'll do the job regardless, so that's perfectly fine. Actually, we could see maybe Light going for a little bit of flash, but then again, he does like to AWP, so may forego going for anything here. CT side, obviously, money is going to be very low here for the vast majority of this. We're going to see a P250 with Faker, and yeah, Light completely absconding away, which is probably looking like a build towards that AWP. Otherwise, again, SMG is going to be the ones to reign supreme, so we're going to be looking at your Scrunk, your Threeman. These guys will be the ones to make the difference, and a stack from LeiSuRe towards the other bomb site. Yeah,
Faker pretty late getting over towards B at this stage as well. And I should point out, this is the first best of 3 series that either of these 2 teams have played in the Meisterschaft season. It's all best of 1, all through the group stage and qualifiers, all the way to here. So that's can be a bit of a big shift if you're not used to it. And now maybe we'll see the effects of that, I guess, that pressure and elongated game state, especially when LeiSuRe are sort of lacking a key voice as well. I haven't seen them play much train either, to be honest with you. I really thought that Cash was their best bet here, and things maybe not looking so great from here on in. And Skrunk's just going to get airborne there. Shots on towards Sick, and M&L's not going to last much longer.
Yeah, this is perfect. Skrunk used the molly to clear out Electric, so he just tried to bait in pretty much attention towards him. He does get picked up, but at worst, that's an SMG loss. So that's not the end of the world, you know what I mean? They can live with that. Now, the last 2, Vladdy and Faker, who are released on the A site, there was barely any damage done, so they're kind of screwed on even trying to carry on doing anything from that. So the molly again going to push out Faker, they're going to hear the hit, and they're going to take the shot. That'll be David doing that, so now it's just Light. So yeah, a really well played round, quite slowly built. They did lose out on Scrunk, but he was the player at the forefront, kind of being very tip of the spear that was thrown towards the site. So yeah, really well done in the end by FAB, showing some real discipline and some good pacing towards taking it. However, because we saw Light forego pretty much purchasing into anything throughout those after not losing the first, he will be able to get himself an AWP. He doesn't have to go glass cannon. He can purchase some armor around it, and we're going to see a nicely set round. However, Scrunk being the scumbag that he is, straight back onto the SMG, going for this one. Just going to try and keep building bank. Again, no head armor, of course, is going to make it pretty tricky. You're not going to buy head armor anyway against rifles. You know, the AK's not even worth it, but he can just keep plowing in like this. And even information is key, but now losing out on others is not good. They went for a quick hit and maybe didn't expect this much resistance, or I don't know what they expected, but they walked into a complete and utter slaughter hit.
Yeah, absolutely. This the wall of smoke actually worked against them as much as it maybe did for them. Skrunk was the first to fall, and he just plummeted straight in towards the enemy. And now, David, the bomb is actually in towards the middle of this train yard here as well, so it's a nigh on impossible, really, for him to recover this in a reasonable fashion. He did spot the player up at heaven, but MNL's going to shut him down. And Light actually looked to be gravitating very much towards Ivy in this round. I mean, do you have any thoughts about the AWP player being also the Ivy player? Do you really think that maybe he should be sat a bit further forward on the A side and have someone else take that spot?
There should be at least 2 players watching it. It'd be a mistake to not have that, because it's so easy to overwhelm, and once you break Ivy open as a T side, it means that suddenly everything's vulnerable. You get that crossfire element and there's no safe regions. So there should be always a player with him, whether it's going to be MNL now, which I hope it is. That's perfectly acceptable. All rifles over the T side, and it looks like a quick hit again. They're going to try and make quick pressure build here towards the CTs.
Yeah, and the egg's going to be on Light's face here as he actually went to peek on towards Ivy. He's going to be way out of the action until after the smokes have already come down. But Sick, and look at that. Perfect little intuition there to find Batcher through the smoke and be ready to pick him off. Light there, going for a peek. The Flames make it a little bit hard to get a cleared angle, but that one is going to be easy enough. The Flames had cleared, and 3 men will fall. But it's a responder. David picks him up now, but only 2 left for FAB. And since the gun round came up, they've been far quieter.
Yeah, this has been nice. So that's the combination you wanted to see, and you mentioned. Light last time was very much alone and pressured. However, this time, MSL with him. They made a nice crossfire, and then Faker on the side. Even though it was completely flashed then, still hitting the shot. So FAB just kind of, as you said, bulldozering in and not really getting much for it. You can't just do those quick hits without anything behind it. You've got to have a little bit more of a game plan coming into that one. Didn't really have much there. So now the force comes out, excuse me. Skrunk down to the Tech 9. Enough still to play with, but these fast hits, they're not stopping.
No, that's right. Smoke's again going to come down, and FAB fancy themselves still coming forward. This aggressive player, Tech 9 and Galil in the mix for them. All 3 players on A were flashed out from LeiSuRe, but at least Syken is the first to recover. Still a lot of smoke up there as well. Syken's in maybe in a more important position than he realises at this stage, with the rest of LeiSuRe being forced to just take 5. And they're going to have to play just a pure retake here, as FAB are able to establish a position and put the bomb down. Yeah,
this is going to be quite tough for them to come back into, considering those smokes did seem to last forever for them. So yeah, Syken's still up there, but they need to start landing the kills on the ground, get those feet on the ground indeed. And now 3 left for the T side as well. So MNL's going hunting, and you can see from the other side, Batcher had the most HP out of them, and actually is working out pretty well on this retake. And actually, the CT side do it. And that's just plain old sloppy play. They all took these individual fights. They didn't need to. They did not depend on the crossfire they'd set then, Mitch. That's frustrating to watch, but good play from LeiSuRe to hold their nerve, not just kind of run in willy-nilly. Syken staying alive that long just becomes a nuisance almost. Him being there is a complete pillar of just absolute annoyance.
And his patience for not over-peaking when he was sitting up in heaven is to be commended as well. He could have peeked out towards even the E-box or an angle like that, but he didn't. He stayed safe, waited for the rest of his team to be able to back him up, and then went for it there. So that's something you don't often see until you get up towards the top level, that kind of patience and dependability from a player. Impressive stuff. LeiSuRe again make it 3 apiece. They've really fought back nicely since that gun round, and the money should be starting to build for them, whereas FAB have to go now with just the Tech 9.
Now you're doing, I think, a pretend A-hit, but considering the pace they've been generally bringing, it was more than this. But no, they're actually going to commit. A little different, a 3-2 split, utilizing Pop here, but Syken's on the side this time. And well, let's see if he can get the spray right. No, 3-man gets away with that, and Bomb is planted. Those Tech 9s suddenly become rather deadly. Yep,
you can see Skrunk through smoke as well. Managed to get a couple leg shots on towards Syken and put him fairly low, but now he really doesn't know what he needs to be shooting at. And the A1, there for A4, sorry, great for the spray down through the smoke. But David K is going to take the fight straight towards Light and get himself that AWP. Unfortunately, it's short-lived. He dropped very, very soon after. And FAB get 2 players for that one and also a bomb plant. So not terrible as well. They did have to invest, though. Everyone had an upgraded pistol. I think Fails was the only one without a Tech 9, and he had a P250. So money spent, but still FAB can buy up now.
Yeah, and with that bomb plant, it means they can really supplement with utility, buy everything they need so the mollies can come in, they can start clearing these corners. But the pace they've been hitting that site with, they don't really get the chance to use them. And the one thing I will say, actually, for LeiSuRe is they fall back really well. You see them, as soon as those smokes come in, they'll kind of leave maybe Syken up close or one player up close. Everyone else falls back to the old bomb train, all down to the bottom of Ivy. They say, okay, well, you want the site, we'll play retake. That's fine. We don't want to play your game, we'll play our own. So maybe FAB now need to approach this differently, but the trade-out comes in, pretty much AWP down down for the CT. No, excuse me. So all on both sides picking up a kill on each other. So nicely done to begin with. Kind of evens the playing field, but it's always going to be an advantage for the T side, no matter what map you're on.
Skrunk will be looking to test Ivy eventually, as Faker's sitting well back, and Vladirox has himself a fairly forward position here on B. So LeiSuRe have an effective early warning system set up here, I like to think. We're going to see the kills now go, and MNL actually traded that one out here, and Faker knows that there's a player close by. Light is essentially on his own over on A for the most part now as well. Vladirox can't really help unless he runs to Popdog or tries to get to connector quickly. And of course, Faker's sort of being kept busy by Skrunk here, so that means that FAB can pressure A site with 2 players and actually potentially get an overmatch here. So Light needs to stay safe.
So does Vladdy, considering who has that bomb. They need to play pretty safe. So as said, they are going to be hitting A. It looks like down pop, the bomb has gone. That was with Badshire. So Light, again, still at the forefront, but so many angles he can't see. So he's, as you said, very much alone, pretty much isolated here. 30 seconds left. Sees a shoulder, takes the shot, gets it. That's Skrunk gone. Now he starts worrying about the old train one there, starting to look towards it like, maybe someone snuck past, and he's right to be thinking so. And slowly on the rotate, Vladdy is going to be coming around, clearing very carefully as they go. But there you go, Light gets overwhelmed. And as you said, isolated as you like.
Yeah, even with Faker going down first, Light knew there was a player on the other side of E-Box, but it wasn't peeking, and he knew there'd also be someone testing from Ivy. But that's a beautiful cleanup from Vladirox there. Just walks over to the site. Proud as you like. Takes the shots and gets the defuse. Stunning stuff from him. And, you know, his patience there in clearing up Popdog and clearing out the locker room there as well before he went towards the side. I guess it paid off, but it could have been a nasty situation.
Really could have been. 5-3 now. I guess you'd argue this is still a CT-sided map. Classically, I think that the teams who are really good on this map especially good at picking up T-rounds. Or they have very specialized players like your Zipniks and such who can hold solo sites, meaning that, you know, A will always be secure no matter what, basically, at that point, because they can put 4 players to it. So, for me, it's quite impressive to see LeiSuRe doing well, but again, this isn't out of the blue, this isn't out of the ordinary, and now Light, I hope he doesn't take a late peek on that. Now he's definitely not going to. He waited the time, but the 3-second rule, that was failed. Yeah, he didn't need to go for that.
No, I mean, and it would always have been a smoke shot, right? There was always going to be smoke in the way, especially after he got hit in the foot. I think I guess his hand was just forced there. He thought he could get something, but Fowler actually the one who took the shot, and it's probably because he would have seen Light for a brief second before the smoke had come up in front of him. So well played there. And now we're going to see FAB just start to congregate here. Still leaving themselves open here, I'd say. It's probably more of a B work at this stage. And Vladirox again, going to set himself up as an early warning system in brown holes and get some vision, get some information, then should actually be able to back away quickly if he can get across the gap. Or just lie in wait and get a couple kills.
They should check this. They have the mollies. These corners could be checked, naded, flashed, whatever it is. You can see Fells are looking towards it, but no one's checked, and he'll see the smokes going through the little upper window. So that will show enough. He's seen 2, 3 go. He holds his nerve on the first. And there is a player on the side, Faker. So all Faker needs to do is make sure no one can push Vladdy here. They've actually separated people, but it's only one man coming through. It's all going to come down to the other bomb site, and they are responding well. They saw who pushed down. Just Vladdy's positioning has paid off, but now they need to land the shots, and that's MSL with the AWP. MNL even with the AWP that does the job. And Vladdy will close. But yeah, just Vladdy's positioning then, even though he only got 1 kill, the positioning provided enough information that only one man had pushed. If he'd seen more, then they could have allocated more members. But saying, okay, well, they smoked, but no one's going.
Yeah.
Stay on the site.
I mean, when you see 4 people set up on brown holes as well, that's what we sort of said. Well, looks like FAB are still leaving themselves open to like that Popdog rush, but with Vladirox only seeing 1 player go, he's like, guys, just chill, don't over-rotate, just sit on A, and they just completely shut things down on A. I think it was MNL and Light, or no, sorry, Syken for the most part, shutting things on down. So now, might just be a set play over towards A, or at least smokes to imply this. There's actually a smoke in Popdog here, so FAB probably don't know the timing on this one and may not be able to push out on their own watch if that smoke's still up before they want to go. Yeah,
Vladdy's already, though, starting to work through those brown holes, so again, I think they've worked out very quickly that this is going to be an A hit, and you can see the molly slowing down the timing, kind of cutting off segments of this approach and allowing people like MNL to get a little bit closer. Not MSL this time, well done, Lauren. But it is down to a 4v4. These smokes are allowing those Tech-9s to really have room to breathe.
David there, wasting no time pushing forward there. Light's just going to fall down. Still the 3v2, but actually David's left on his own now with the AWP. That forward positioning in brown holes from Vladirox cannot be overestimated. it's low risk. There's a defuse there as well. So we saw David had to back away. It's low risk, right? You set yourself up in a position. You can normally jump back across towards upper. And you can tell exactly what bomb site the enemy is going to be hitting there as well. So I think FAB should at least try and play around that. Maybe pressure on towards Vladirox, put one player in towards him. If they can get rid of him, it's going to make LeiSuRe start to think twice about where FAB are going to go. Because right now, they're just always ready. They had 4 players on A to receive that push. Because Vladirox told Faker, go to A, they're not coming to B.
Yeah, and this is the thing, that when you play this game where you have these very in-depth strategies or, you know, very detailed executes, I think is something I could look towards FAB. They seem to really put their time into that sort of stuff. But the problem being that if you're not playing a default strategy, or at least keeping, you know, hedging some of your bets by putting players towards Vlad so that he has to play, you know, humble. There is a pause, by the way, that's why we're waffling here. The point is that, of course, the CT side will know what you're doing. It's hard to get information on maps like Cobble, where you saw FAB doing much better. This map isn't the same. You can put players down Ivy, you can put players up close. You know, the NIP style of putting people like Forest up super close. And then you can put players through brown holes, as we've been seeing Vladdy do. Now, at the moment, they're doing perfectly fine with Vladdy being the player going for info. But then again, there could be anyone else going Ivy, doing the other things, probably taking fights off the back of it, but they could still do just as well off the back.
So FAB may be looking a little bit one-dimensional, I think, in their approaches. Or at least they're showing a tendency and ability to go to different sites if they need to. But, I mean, yeah, it comes back to the point you mentioned right in the start. It's just one player in one position is sort of messing them up right now as well. And it needs to be a little bit more of a foolproof approach and not a strategy that can be derailed just because Vladirox is sitting forward or someone's being spotted out in Ivy. But we're back in the game now anyway. Pause being sorted. And LeiSuRe looking a lot better than I expected after this first 3 rounds, which are all FABs. FAB haven't won a round in 7.
Yeah, so it's all the gun rounds, which is the worrying part, Mitch. You mentioned it earlier, and yeah, it's stuck true to that. And again, the timing's a little off here. 3man's out, but he has to slow down. He can't kind of keep up the pace, and Fails is going to drop out the molly. They're again trying to clear the sides, but no one's taken the shot yet. The CT side hold back, hold their nerve, and wait for the next fight.
Great flash use there as well. You saw Fails was fully white, and just had to step back for a good 5 to 6 seconds there as well. As did, I think, the player off towards his side. I think it was Scrunk there. Now they're going to try and get involved, but Faker's waking up, getting the spray down as well with the M4. Trades it in for an AK. And Light is able to eventually finish the job as he had pushed all the way up Ivy, up behind FAB. And they were too slow pushing on towards that site. LeiSuRe stalled that out so well and had such great positioning in the after, I guess, when the smoke cleared.
Aftermath, pretty much, of that one, yeah. Again, though, this is the thing. We said it at the start. It's like, well, at the end of the day, someone can just push around the back. It's whether it be Ivy, whether it be Brown Horse, it doesn't really matter at this point. There needs to be more coming out from FAB. They've gone for the double AWP here because, well, you might as well, I guess, at this point. Scrunk and Fails are going for those 2, and there's the aggression maybe down towards Ivy, but well met by Scrunk in the end. Going to do the counter flash and just slow things down a little here. But Fails, the opposing, or not opposing, but the other AWP at the moment, just outdoes him a touch.
All right. See if this double AWP really pays off. The rounds that we've seen Scrunk actually pick up an AWP, I don't know, it hasn't been overly convincing for me.
Even on Cobble.
Even on Cobble, that's right. Smoke up, and that's going to keep Falzer and David K busy for the moment here. And Vladdy may be tested. 3man now, again, and even Batcher are in position where they can start to apply some pressure here. Falzer, though, gets his opposite number. Light already off the map. And Skrunk's already pushed through from Ivy, so FAB have a lot of control right now.
Yeah, they do. And they're going to start going for the execute here. Although, Faker holding on towards Scrunk means a great deal. This means that actually they've not lost everything. But Syken as well can shut down some of these plays. They're basically saying, okay, you can take the A site, but we're going to hold all the extremities. We're going to make sure you have no one in a better position than us if we have to play this retake. Faker's going to get safe, which is nice. And here we go, spray down comes in. Good work from Syken, that finds Badger, but there was that additional player that I think Vladdy actually spotted out, so again, loses some info on that one, meaning that Syken will be a little vulnerable, but he can still make a play from this. You can see him maybe taking more of a risk there because he had to, and there you go. This is great stuff. Again, LeiSuRe, this is a beautiful situation for them, and they deserve every bit of applause for that round specifically.
That was so sick from Syken as well. He knew, as you said, there was a player, I think 3man was spotted up out there with Basher as well. So he was like, I could be in trouble here. I could be getting flanked from Pop Dog, and there could be someone pushed me from E-Box. But he peeked E-Box, saw that the 2 players were already occupied, I think, with Faker, whoever's sitting towards the back of A-site. And then he just spins around and just completely wrecks 3man as he came down. And that was it from FAB. There's no chance of coming back at that point of the round.
That's really impressive stuff. I actually really like that. That sort of team play is actually quite cool to see. And it does seem to be quite integral to the player themselves. And wow, okay, this is different again. Bit of a switch up here for LeiSuRe. They're going for the 2-stack on B, but not having anyone particularly pushed up. So you can see that probably for FAB, they'll be checking out the corners, taking the time, and they have secured the brown halls. And there's no aggression coming out towards A, 'cause this is the 4-1 split I was hoping for. Scrunk keeping those players relatively humble. But now here come the flashes. They're going to spot that out. Molly goes down towards the ramp, meaning that no one can push down from it, but the upper push does come in. Vladdy only finds one. This is still dangerous.
Hardly the crucial Molly there being thrown earlier on, and it's not looking good now. Faker and Vladirox both fall down. For some reason, Vladirox opting to play on the site and not up in brown holes. The one round that FAB actually want to pressure things out here as well. And this is Light just doing light things. Really, mate. Okay, we get it. You can run at people with an AWP. It's absolutely nothing for that one as well. LeiSuRe have money to spend. They build up a bank. But that's no way to try and bring a round back.
Yeah, that was that was like MLG frag movie, please. Let me just like run through this. You're not JW. I'm gonna put it that way. You're good, like you're playing well, but you're not JW. Stop it. Yeah, FAB doing nicely that time. As there was, Vladdy and Faker had to play pretty humble to the site and just not overextend, and the crossfire just didn't really work out. Vladdy found one as they pushed out, but no more off the back of that. So yeah, that was pretty impressive. FAB still showing they've got a little bit of bite to their bark, so it's not over yet. But again, I feel that FAB can't do that twice now.
No, and Vladirox is this time he's going to push up a little bit further forward and just try and catch out anything that may come his way. And there's 3 players all just trying to pressure on towards Ivy here as well. Now, Light has an AWP. He also has MNL back to support him as well, who is only really seeing fails at the end of the map. So eventually LeiSuRe are going to realize they need to actually start to shore up the defenses here a little bit. The flash comes in. Light pushes over the Molotov, obviously trying to flash his way through there. A bit of aggression goes a long way if you know how to use it in controlled doses, but now he's forced to back up, give some ground. This is going to make Syken increasingly nervous on this side. He at least has Faker to watch his back, but he could be surrounded out.
He has no control over Train 1. He doesn't know if they pushed up towards the green box. He has no idea what's going on here because MNL have been completely smoked off. Light's just gone, all right, well, I'll watch Pop, guys. Don't worry about Ivy. Just don't look at it. And there you go. Syken just gets taken down. This is a real problem here. Light now has to make up for this error.
Yeah, Faker gets 2, though. Vladirox is pressing forward. Light, yeah, okay. Got wrecked there and didn't manage to get much. I talk him up a lot, actually, but he's made some very interesting decisions recently. However, this will be the retake. Everything should work out fine as Vladirox can get the finish there as well. 3 for him that round. Man,
it was pure retake.
You can't push into Vladirox. You can't ignore him either.
Yeah, the B players pretty much saved that round. Vladdy and Faker were the ones who came back around like, don't worry, guys, we can keep this under wraps because, yeah, that play in the end from Light was like, well, I'm going to try and do something fancy. Now that's not worked. I'm going to run away. And
in 2 rounds, he's tried to do it 3 times.
Yeah, it's not been great. So, because MNL was in a position kind of maybe, I guess, further down Train 1, I think is the only way I can describe it, by green. They pretty much had to forego any control there. So, yeah, not great at all. But MNL's now going to switch up. Good. Maybe had a better spawn towards B. Deciding to support with Vladdy there. So both players going to get a nice trade out initially. You can see instantly Faker's just keeping eyes on it just in case. Absolutely. And you're seeing the push out from Light. So finally, sure, he's been playing a little bit of a questionable style, but this information gathering mission, perfectly fine.
Well, Syken there getting a little bit edgy with it, but manages to at least clean the shot up. And yeah, 3 players in brown halls.
Oh, that
Mind you, this is an anti-eco round, right? They're only really toting Tech 9s, and that is definitely going to find its mark. MNL has been very, very difficult to get through this round. He will push forward, get a better angle as well. See plenty of heads popping down on towards the site. And that smoke, you could stand a hair's breadth away from that last player and you wouldn't know it. MNL knew he was safe to push further up on upper. Easy done.
That was really nice positioning from MNL then, just playing the positions nicely. Yeah, again, so for example, Light that round, I actually didn't mind him being aggressive down Banana. Yeah. Did well enough. Of course, this is the
he'll often push Ivy and that's fine. It's so fine. It's when he gets threatened at Ivy and then
he
doesn't hold his position and he'll just flash himself. Flash, then peek. Last time he jumped onto a Molotov, I mean, got away with like 20 health, but then lost the position completely. Had to back right around the corner with MNL, and luckily it was the B players that managed to save that round. So I like it. Look, Light can pull this stuff off sometimes. I can see him do it online as well, but it's a different situation, different environment. And I don't know if his internal number crunching is all that great so far in terms of can I actually pull this off. Yep. I like the confidence, but again, the execution just lacking a bit.
So, 11-4 though on the half, Mitch. That was a good half. I know we were quite critical, but I think that's because you kind of have to be if there's an individual maybe not being quite to par. He certainly stood out, at least in some elements. However, overall, LeiSuRe do secure a very convincing first half. You would argue this can still be a CT-sided map, and already looking at this play out, David's going to found info that there's no one down by Ivy. They could be going for a bit of a unique hit towards A. You can see the tasty morsel of bait being Vladdy, basically like out on a string. But LeiSuRe are going for this all-in B play. You see the Molly again with Light. He's going to be the secure player this round. He has to play pretty passive. So let's see how this one goes down.
I want to see what Vladarox can drum up at A in the meantime as well. Oh, a kill. At least Patrick goes down now as well. This is going to mean Skrunk's rotation to B is a little bit delayed as he's still concerned about what's happening. He finally gets here, but I don't know. Falsa doesn't get much value there with those shots down. The bob is dropped. Planted, should I say. Now Falsa, and I think it's 3-man there as well. Just going to have to try and hold.
Yeah, 4v4 retake's going to be pretty difficult for FAB as well, considering the Light's still up with that Molly's going to buy a lot of time. So they need to hit these shots pretty quickly. They're going to use the smoke on the side so that Molly can't be utilized. Quite a smart play from Falsa in case he goes down. So now he can go for a bit of a defuse in, knowing that Molly cannot come into place. You can see the challenge coming out first, and there you go, completely forgotten this. And oh, the defuse almost came out. That was so close. The knife even from Faker just to add insult to injury. And in the end, they do close it down. They're 2-2, Light and Faker, but that was actually pretty close.
Quite close there as well. We saw FAB respond very, very quickly with a smoke and then a second smoke on towards the bomb. They were like, no, we're going to get this defuse now. We're going to cut this nonsense out. Unfortunately, they had an opening of maybe, 3 or 4 seconds there as the second wave of LeiSuRe were coming on, and unfortunately it was a little bit too late. They tried to hold a strong presence at upper as well, because obviously the flank came through eventually from LeiSuRe to stop that one, but no good.
No, and we actually see an eco. Do you remember when ecos were actual ecos, Mitch? Do you remember those days?
It's been a long time. I think Envy ruined it for everyone. And then like people started doing half Envy. Like it was always like differing degrees of Envy in that second round after losing the pistol.
Look, even Envy aren't doing Envy anymore.
No,
it's gone that bad.
Ask Semo about it. He'll tell you for hours.
Yeah, that's very true. Point being, in this one though, it's like, well, they kind of have to play for the gun rounds now because they've got to that point.
Look, you're too far behind. You can't buy Jack in this round. Don't buy anything. Get some decent money. Bring it back the old-fashioned way, really. I think now it's changing. Again, we're seeing a shift back towards a bit more of a conservative buy sometimes after losing the pistol. Because sometimes it's just mathematically not reasonable to expect you to win that round back, really, with what you have. And more often than not, it's not always money well spent.
And FAB want to go for the buy in this round.
Yeah. I mean, when you CT side, you don't have the chance to plant a bomb and get some extra free money on that side. So I guess you have to get what you can.
Yeah, but it sucks so bad because they have Famuses and 0 to work with in the form of like smokes or anything. So if LeiSuRe work this out, they'll just do a quick hit because they can take those fights with the rifles if I was them. But I'm not. And it looks like they're going to do it anyway. Massively pouring out by Pop, but they haven't really landed a shot yet. And Faber just dancing in and out between these between these trains pretty much at this point. David's going to find MNL and actually going pretty well for the CT side right now until Light has something to say about it.
Yeah, he's got a Famus as well. Not the best item. A little bit of damage there from the Molotov is actually going to make it a little bit easier for him to be picked up, but David gets shut down by Syken, and now 3-man, he's in a 1v2. The bomb is in Faker's hands, and it will be just so easy to head elsewhere and plant this one, at least until Syken fell. Now, Faker v 3-man, what an important round this is for Kareem, and he's got to get the spray down, and Faker, no, shuts him down, laughing in his face, and LeiSuRe hopefully laughing all the way to the grand final after that round. I mean, look, it's maybe more reasonable to expect the T side to full save after losing a pistol and just try and rush a bomb plant. Yeah. But when you're the CT side, you can't do that. And then even if you have a full save, you might not be able to get decent guns. Like we saw then, 4 Famuses. You're just not getting enough money. It needs to come from somewhere. And if you get no kills, like you should expectedly do, you shouldn't get any kills really if you're going to go just full USPs. It's hard. It's a hard decision to make.
Yeah, and sadly for them now, they're in that predicament where it's like, well, we kind of screwed here. Unless we hit some nutty 1-deeks. Embrace the Juan, you know what I mean? You got to channel that bad boy at this point, or just think of Nico and hope for the best. Fels is going to at least recover a rifle, but no armor to supplement it means you can't really take these extended fights. That's why you kind of like the Deagle. You take one shot, back away.
Peak,
yeah. So it kind of becomes more and more difficult here, and I think this is where you mentally get tired. You're like, we'd have to bring back so many rounds here, but you know, they want it so badly. They're on stage. It's not like you get that same mental kind of wear that you do online where you're like, screw it. Like, this is important.
Again, this is the first best of 3 that these guys would have played in the Meisterschaft season. All best of 1s up until this point. So it's such a different environment here. But LeiSuRe look to be withstanding it quite nicely now. Batcher as well. A couple of attempted shots of the P250 as the Molly's just come crashing down. And look at this. David can't really come in, and nor can, I think, Failson. So they really just have Batcher isolated on the site. He made the correct decision to stay safe. Now at least FAB can come forward with 3 players. But they're still undermanned, they're still undergunned, and time is working against them.
Yeah, they're on a mission basically now, almost not to win the round, but to take guns away or try and get a little more. You can see how reluctant FaZe is to commit here because he wants to maybe keep that rifle, and I don't know if he's going to be able to at the moment. He's being pressured down. This player is on upper, and look who's coming through Pop. This could be Light's moment to actually get back in my good books. He whiffs the shot and makes up for a nice little P250 shot.
Yeah, it's funny. Light's, tried our patience sometimes, and sometimes he's impressed us as well. I mean, this map for him, he doesn't seem super confident, comfortable, I think. He sometimes just tries to play some false bravado and just get aggressive and see what he can get. But still, match point. This has been a very dominant... FAB have got one round in this game since round number 3. Since they won the pistol and got the first couple of rounds, that's been it. It's been very, very average for them.
Yep. This has been a real shocker. Again, if maybe they've not played much of this map, this could be the issue. You look how well organized they were in the previous ones. If it's something they've not done here, this could be what we're seeing. This kind of real fall apart, the distinct lack of strength just missing on T and CT side, even though we haven't seen much of that CT side, bearing in mind. However, this is the final throw at it. If they want a chance at those finals, they have to get every single round back to back.
At least they have the guns to start something here. That's something they at least can hang their hat on at this stage. Light, you can see as well.
Bounding around.
As he does. Yeah, he does. He likes to hop around the map quite a lot, this guy. I mean, in a position where he can maybe rile up the natives, cause some distraction. I mean, hey, if an AWP is pushing this site, always the rest of the team, right? He gets flashed backwards, though. And just going to have to go for something else here as well. Fails are out in the middle, so he's got to be pretty careful. He's almost expecting Light to be in that tunnel, but Light is elsewhere.
And what a way to work up the nerve of FAB here. Yeah. Just LeiSuRe really taking their time. Like, guys, you've got 10 seconds, don't miss a shot, because that could be it. That could be you done. Adding pressure. FaZe doesn't get the shot he needs. He does follow up with the second cycle, goes down, but there you go. Overwhelmed in the end, and it's now down to 4v4.
MNL, beautiful stuff there as well. After getting the better, he gets 3 as well. Vladrox goes down, as Scrunk presses 4, but the Molotov's going to burn him super low, and MNL gets hit. Another one. The man going off in this round. He's finally shut down by 3-man, who will hope to live up to his name with one more. It's going to be Faker versus 3-man, the 1v1. 3-man was actually in this position earlier on, being forced to play in a 1v1 situation to get his round back in a very crucial situation. But Faker has a flash and a Molotov to work with here. Going to go in for some peeks there as well. Takes the headshot. It's going to get very, very close, and Faker just needs to take his time.
Yeah, he's playing ballsy, though. He doesn't want to take his time. He's going to take the fight, and he actually loses out. And if they had rounds to spare in this point, 3-man will get the defuse, and he does indeed live up to his name.
You shouldn't be losing that situation if you're Faker. You should sit back and just play for time. You have a Molotov to throw at the bomb site, for God's sake.
Sometimes you gotta just try and be that player, though. You know what I mean?
Light must be whispering in his ear.
If you're Tom Diablo Newman, you'd have taken that fight. Hit the shot, boys.
Oh, I always think of a GB James quote now.
BDP?
Oh, I can't say it on there.
No, you can't, but BDP.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
What an inspirational coach that man is.
Yeah, it's alright. When I played matchmaking with Stunner, I was hoping for something similar. Nothing. It was just awful.
Really?
He just abused me, yeah. It's awful. Scumbag.
Shame.
Love you, Stunner. But again, this is, it's a long road back here for FAB. They need to keep going, big in every single round. They can't lose a single one. No mistakes now, Mitch. I don't know what to make of this.
Bowser already got that first pick there as well, but again, he's on a timer. Going to have to wait until LeiSuRe get close enough. You saw how MNL just shut him down last round. He's going to do it yet again. He is almost pretty much on FaZe duty. As well goes for the peak. Unfortunately, his opponent just put his head around, and David had the better peak timing. Light now is on his own and could have already won the game, LeiSuRe, but no, let's drag it out just for fun.
Salty,
it was
salty, Mitch.
I just know what Faker was doing against 3-man.
Why have you paused?
LeiSuRe have pause. Okay. All right, boys.
I hope it's tactical.
Tac pause.
They're lying. They have to be lying. They have to be lying.
Are they doing a Astralis versus Fnatic strat here?
Jesus Christ.
Is it Columbus?
I've worked it from my memory, Mitch.
I'm pretty sure it was Columbus. That was so BM.
And Astralis are normally such nice boys.
Yeah?
Yeah, they're good guys normally.
Well, I mean, it's LeiSuRe we're talking about here now as well. I swear it's straight out the Astralis playbook, this one. What are you tac pausing for now, boys? You're on a pistol. You better tac pausing before the gun round. I don't know.
I'm not going to say anything because they don't deserve anything right now. Just chill out.
Faker's had a great game, though. I will say that.
Well, apart from the 1v1 that made you almost fall off your chair.
Yeah.
Going, why would you do that?
I'm trying to recover a little bit because I feel like I'm being a bit harsh on the guy. Sometimes throwing that aggression in is just not what your opponent expects. So
yeah,
fine.
It is. It is that. Sometimes you have to take the fight. It's about reading the situation that you feel comfortable in. He could have backed away, but then again, he only kind of knew where he was, which was at the old bomb train. So the theory being you take the fight, you take the angle, you hold the angle, you take, you know what I mean? You get the kill. But as you said, there are better ways to play it if you look at it with hindsight. You look back, he'd probably go himself, yeah, I probably should just play that differently. But in the moment, in his head, it was probably just like got to take it, got to go for it.
All I would do was start like flicking my mouse around wildly and thinking everyone's around the corner, every corner. Just freak out.
Sheer terror.
Yeah.
All right, so hopefully they've tactically talked through things because I was quite worried for them.
Yeah, no, they've had a chat beyond pistols here for this part. And to be fair, it's good to see LeiSuRe. I think actually if LeiSuRe, at this rate, if they get a decent map pool in the grand final, i.e. something that includes Mirage and hopefully Cash as well, they should win.
Should.
I feel like they should win.
Yeah.
Because this is FAB. They're the only team that really came close to them in terms of circuit points. And this is just a atrocious showing on Train, really. They've just got nothing going on the T side, and that should be the most concerning part, really.
Yeah, it really is. It's kind of a nervous thing.
Okay, Light, as usual, gets himself an AWP over the Molotov with the freaking bomb. And now he's going to burn. Oh, God. I don't know, Lauren. I really don't know.
Did they have a lobotomy in the pause or what?
He got the frag, though, man. It's like...
I don't appreciate plays like that. And now he's actually doing well.
This is great. This is great. No, it is good.
You
I like
find
it.
this fun, do you?
It's some ballsy play. I enjoy it.
You enjoy.
Kind of reminds me of like a Spec Ops player in COD 4.
Don't you say his name.
That same approach.
Don't you say his name. It's down to a 2v2. What the freaking hell is this?
Vladirox picked up that pistol kill. I think it must have been on the site, and Light is sneaking rotating. Scrunk rotates to A at least to be able to meet Light now. But I don't think you'll expect Light to have gone all the way through Ivy. This is like Alex Machine Richardson around the world level stuff. That's disgusting. Vladirox picked up Batcher as well up on that B side, and that's Scrunk's on his own. Light probably could even just go back. Vladirox is healthy, has himself an M4.
Scrunk, you better win this. Don't you dare lose this round. I'm being real here, Mitch. I am on the verge of throwing
really
chairs.
Upset.
No, I am pure tilty. Scrunk, get the kill on Vladdy. Find the 1v1. All right, there's the first step. Now, don't mess up against Light.
My boy Light, let's go, boys.
No. Light's going to get the plant. How well can he get set up for this? Knowing Light, he'd walk forward with the AWP. So,
oh, that's filthy.
Oh, God, he's actually going to have an angle on this Scrunk.
Flash.
He gets the tag. He got the tag. It's 15 HP against what? 16? And there you go. Thankfully, Scrunk wins it. There is a God, Mitch.
I don't know. I don't know what he's got of. Light got 3 frags that round there. Well played. It's incredible, you know, the kind of player that has not only the audacity, but also maybe even the foresight to get in his opponent's head to think, if I push across this freaking Molotov with a pistol out right now, I can catch their AWPer and get his gun. Failsy got wrecked.
Yeah, he did. But the thing is, okay, so...
Well, it's like playing against Mark Penny.
Shut up.
To say
Shh. The thing is, right, that you can do plays like that because Modlies do different amounts of damage at different times of them being put down. So you can make that happen. The fact is, one, that someone allowed that to happen against them is ridiculous, and they're able to carry it on. He almost went back in for more. Like, there was so many elements to that round that just blew my mind because any day of the week, you probably wouldn't see that. You replay this game on LAN or anywhere else, you'd be just like, no. But it did, and it just upsets me internally, deeply.
Faker, again, testing towards Ivy there as well. The only reason I pointed it out because he looked like he was firing, but Batcher didn't seem to be too bothered by it at all now as well. So LeiSuRe playing it a bit slower. Got that utility though. Oh, that's it. Threeman goes down to the back of the B side.
There?
Ooh, I like that shot.
I think Mitch needs to have some time alone after this, clearly.
My boy, Light.
All right, we'll have a round with Light, don't worry.
Oh yeah, let's see what he does. I just want to see more completely harebrained stuff from him. That'll be even better. Gets a pick on on B, sorry, and rotates back to A. So this will keep FAB guessing for the next couple of seconds. But Skrunk's now gotten to the side, and Vladirox needs to shut down Batcher. He does do that. There's not going to be any presence from Ivy, but Vladirox is getting it done on his own. He gets himself 3, and now FaZe is in a 1v4. His team has already fallen. He gets 1 though. Vladirox, he was a problem player, has fallen, but there's still 3. However, the bomb is loose. It was in Vladirox's hands, and FaZe can see it.
FaZe, I feel for you. Because you don't know if someone's going to walk through that smoke because they want to face first. No flash, just go for it. Re-smokes it, tries to give himself a chance for the pop flash to follow, but this man right beside him, and it is all but over. But what the hell is going on in this game? MNL, you are meant to be my saving grace at this point. But in the end, FaZe does get surrounded, and it will be LeiSuRe taking it through to the finals.
I think he got sick of hearing you call him MSL. I was like, stuff for you, Lauren. I'm going to do my own thing. Are you okay?
No.
She's not okay at all, ladies and gentlemen. We have at least our first grand finalist. It was a very interesting series of 3 maps, but LeiSuRe have made it through. After the break, though, we'll be going to our second match. It's going to be very, very interesting. Alternate Attacks with some very strong performances. They actually knocked FAB down in the playoffs, in the group playoffs.
Was
so they were.
train?
I don't think so, actually. I don't think, no, we did see the game. It wasn't. It was something else. Anyway, they'll be going up against the new look Penta, or like the Penta version 2. It's like
Penta B.
Yeah, they don't have little time turners, and they don't go back to try and get their divination class in the morning in time. They have another team that's going to play in the Meisterschaft while the rest of them are playing at SIVO.
It's the weirdest Harry Potter reference I've ever heard.
Yeah, like the time turner that Hermione has that lets her like take extra classes because she's overloaded.
LeiSuRe.
No, don't you get me started.
Go to break, bitch.
Don't
Throw it.
stop. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go to a break. We'll return. It's going to be the second semi-final. Alternate Attacks versus Penta. Don't miss it.